So how's it feel to be half a world away for 3 weeks and running, huh?
Great. New opportunities, excited to be, with the national team. Obviously, it's a great opportunity every time I'm with them, and to represent, my country at a World Cup means, the world to me and also my family, and the ability to, represent Atlanta United as well. They've given me, a lot since I was young, and they've kind of shaped me to who I am as a person and a player today. So, just giving everything and representing them here on the world stage.
You've been over there for a couple of weeks, but 2 matches have already gone in the books in the group stage. When you look at those first 2 matches, obviously you got subbed out late in the first one, didn't participate in the second one. When you look at these first 2 matches in group stage, what sticks with you so far?
Yeah, I think what we've learned as a team is, the the thing is to fear no one. I think that's what we have to take into each game, and kind of bring with us throughout the knockouts as well. But I think the first game was, kind of getting into, a World Cup environment in a sense. They're big games, a lot of people, a lot of, fans, a lot of expectations on us. Because of we're the USA, but that's what you have to play with. That's the pressure you want. But no, I think what we've learned is just that if we stick together and play our game, and we have the talent to beat any team in this tournament. And yeah, that's what we have to take with us.
In the matchup against Burkina Faso, obviously dominant in all of the numbers on the board, and it just you kept hammering away, hammering away, hammering away. Then you get the late goal to get full points, and then against Tajikistan, it was an early goal that you had to come back from to try and get the result from there. So it's been two different learning situations that the
Mhm.
U.S. has had in Qatar so far.
Yeah, I think that honestly helps in a sense. So you're not, starstruck by if you go down a goal in another game or something. So I think it's honestly good that it happened. But yeah, like you said, we had the front hand pretty much all game. Obviously, Burkina Faso is a good team, physical, run a lot, kind of all over the place, kind of have their players do, whatever they want with the ball and stuff, just kind of free. So, sometimes that's tough to play against rather than, a team that is tactically, sound and everything. So, no, it's different. And then obviously with Tajikistan going down a goal in the first 2 minutes, we have to. There's a lot of time in the game. You have to come back from that and fight, and we did. And yeah, we got the 3 points. So that's what matters.
Off the field, what has the experience been like for you and the rest of the guys? Because there was video that popped out. I think it was with Mexico and Japan, where one team is there and they give them they basically give them the shoot down the middle of the hallway where it's like they're going to celebrate them and all that kind of stuff. Have you had much interaction with all of the other teams that are there, considering it's all in that one location?
Yeah, I would say we share actually a meal room with four other countries, or I think, yeah, four. So we share with England, Zambia, South Korea, and Fiji. So they're all in our hotel. But we haven't really got a chance to, like interact with them a lot. But no, I think, you know, it's kind of different in a sense. Do you want to interact? It's a
Mm-hmm.
World Cup environment. You're focused and everything. Obviously, there's times off the field where you want to get to know kids from Fiji, like where you get to see that every day. So yeah, yeah.
I was going to ask if there are like the exchanges of the gear, like if you had extra scarves and pins or anything. Is it like the Olympic experience, one of those kinds of things? That was what popped into my head when I saw that kind of stuff.
No, maybe towards the end, maybe. But no, not yet.
When you mentioned the fan support, and that's another thing that we've seen on the international feed, is that there are supporters of the United States that are there. That last time I checked, it's not a 45-minute hot flight coming from the eastern part of the United States to go see things in Qatar. What's it? How big a fan support are we talking here, and what's it like to see all that support?
No, honestly, it's crazy, and pretty much everyone's families, I think, is here supporting even more than I mean, at least 2 to 3 people each player. So, and there's also people. My parents actually met some people that live here and that are from like Austin. Yeah, so you have people supporting from here that live here that don't even, follow us usually, but came to support. And all of our parents obviously are big supporters. We have a loud crowd, and that's only going to help us going forward in the tournament.
What's it like having your parents there with you?
No, I mean, it's great. This is, something I've dreamed of for since I was a little kid to play in a World Cup. So, to have them here supporting me is means everything. They've given me the platform and everything that I need to succeed. Um, and yeah, it's just really grateful for them to be here.
Do you remember, and this is going back to when you were named to the squad, do you remember
Yeah.
how you found out that you were a part of the squad?
Oh, I
What was it?
think.
Was it a call, a text,
Oh
email, or
no, so we were actually at the camp in Fayetteville. And it was the day I was heading out because I obviously only had to drive to Fayetteville. So my dad came to pick me up, and then Gonzalo, the head coach, came out to me and had told me that I would be going with them to the World Cup, and yeah, just a super exciting moment, and yeah.
and it's one of those where you mentioned Atlanta United, and you mentioned what it's like to be a part here in the southeastern United States. It's where it's another feather in the cap for you as a professional or a soon to be professional. We'll go ahead and make that. We'll go ahead and make that push. But it's another feather in your cap. It's another feather in Atlanta United's cap, and it speaks to your growth as a footballer and to what Atlanta United has provided you over time. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I said, I've been at Atlanta United since, I was U12, with, Mike Lynch as my U12 coach. So, it's been a long journey, all the way up, getting minutes with the first team now. So, no, I have nothing but, good words for Atlanta United, obviously, and just a big thanks to them for everything they've done for me so far, and they're continuing to do and continuing to push me and my level. And hopefully, the goal is to become a main player in the first team someday. So yeah.
You mentioned that you've been together for 3 weeks as a group. How long do you think it took for all of these different players coming from all of these different teams and all of these different philosophies to understand what Gonzalo was looking for? And so you can look to your left, you know what you want to do. You can look to your right, it's like to get into that rhythm. How long did it take to get there, or are there still some pieces of that rhythm that still need to be picked up?
Yeah, I think obviously all the camps that we've had, the past 2 years, honestly, leading up to the World Cup has been working, on that cohesion and all that stuff because it is difficult to have players from different cultures and different environments and different play styles and all of that to come together and play under one. But I think we all have one goal in common is to win a World Cup, and that's what makes it easy to come together and, play together and all of that. But obviously there's still moving parts to it. There's still, getting used to each other in World Cup environment, there's different needs for different players, understanding just each other more, and that comes as the tournament goes on. But yeah, obviously it's getting better.
So you have a couple of days. Well, actually, you probably had the most amount of days getting ready for Burkina Faso. Then you've got to cram for the test with Tajikistan. Now you've got to cram for the test with Czechia coming up on Tuesday. Any early thoughts? Any early study hall? Any early intel on what Czechia is bringing to the table?
Nothing yet, honestly.
Okay.
We're still kind of getting over the game from obviously last night. But we'll definitely look into that over the next couple days. But I mean, the goal's the same, is to get 3 points no matter what. So
Looking forward to it. Fantastic to see you. It's been great to see you out on the pitch so far, repping the U.S., and obviously we'll be keeping an eye on things. We know you're getting into the knockout, 6 points out of 2 matches so far, matchup with Czechia on Tuesday. Coop, it's great to see you. Thanks for dropping by. I'll be keeping an eye on it. We'll catch up soon.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.